My name is Josie Savicki, and this is my presentation on the abusive breeding of dogs. How many people think they could identify fairly easily several breeds of dogs? I know I could, but that's because I'm a crazy dog lady. But have you ever stopped to think about where those breeds came from? The answer might surprise you. Hundreds of years ago, it became popular for the wealthy to create their own dogs and label them as pure or fashionable. However, science today is proving that these so-called pure dogs are some of the sickest and saddest animals alive. Today, I will be talking about how the inbreeding required to make purebreds is causing disasters, the bulldog's struggle to reproduce, and the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel's brain. Let's begin with inbreeding. It needs to be put to a stop. The gene pools of purebred dogs are getting smaller and smaller with every litter a mother delivers. Every time two dogs in the same gene pool, more commonly put as in the same family, are coupled together to have puppies, the risk of defects increases. Because the gene pool becomes smaller and smaller, the chances of the randomly selected allele or gene required to make offspring having a mutation greatly increases. Just like with humans, inbreeding in dogs leads to a larger likelihood of them getting diseases and having the deformities. There are many types of defects that a dog can inherit because of inbreeding. Defects include an increased risk of cancer, tumors, joint and bone disorders, eye and heart diseases, skin disorders, neurological and immune diseases, and even in some cases, epilepsy. Now let's move on to a more specific case, the bulldog, and he's in trouble. The beloved characteristics of the English bulldog were once non-existent. And yet today are the cause of the breed's health problems. Some of these include narrow hips, short legs, large heads, and squashed faces. Pushed-in faces have caused a plethora of respiratory problems, while short legs, paired with a large body mass, have caused severe joint problems. Sadly, these characteristics, rather than being seen as unhealthy, were seen as fashion statements. Today, the bulldog's heads are so large they cannot reproduce or give birth naturally due to the size of their heads. Breeders have created, over the years, a dog that cannot properly mate with its counterpart. The weight of the male's large head combined with the weak legs of the female make conception nearly impossible. Females must also be artificially inseminated and have their puppies through C-section. Because of the female's narrow hips and the puppy's large heads, natural birth is not possible. Now we'll move on to another breed, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and they are in pain. Through selective breeding, we have created a dog whose skull is not large enough to hold its own brain. Syringomyelia is the name of this health issue, and it is defined as when the fluid surrounding the brain is pushed out through a hole in the back of the skull, pockets, and then moves down the spinal cord. This can lead to dizziness and extreme pain. The sensation has been described by humans as the most painful thing one can experience. So I ask you, how can we allow our dogs to suffer in silence? In conclusion, the inbreeding of dogs in order to make them seem more fashionable or pure needs to be put to a stop. Regulations stopping breeders from mating dogs with their own family need to be put in place by the courts. And sadly, until this happens, people all over the world are going to continue this brutal form of production. So today I ask you to help me, and in a pleasant way. Next time the opportunity comes around for you to pick out your next furry best friend for life, I implore you to adopt from a local shelter rather than purchase a dog from a breeder. This helps put less demand on the breeders to produce more puppies, and both encourages them and gives them time to find a better suited mate for their dogs. If this can be accomplished, we will have healthier, happier dogs that live a long and painless life. And isn't that what we all want for our pets? I know I do. Thank you.